Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team, and we have some cold air out there tonight. We have gone from tracking winter precipitation to now just regular winter temperatures. The precipitation part is gone. Now, nothing new is falling from the sky, but some folks are still dealing with ice on the ground that didn't totally go away today. We had temperatures that got up to about 34 degrees in the afternoon hours today. There was some melting that was going on. The wind last night really helped to get rid of a lot of moisture on the ground, and then the sun today also helped with that. But there are still some spots though that have some ice, maybe in shady areas where the sun never got to it, and those areas that never really got above freezing today. So still be very careful out there, because again, if there was any melting today that didn't dry up, it is refreezing now, as those temperatures are not only below freezing, but we're going down to 15 degrees here by early tomorrow morning. And the wind chill is going to make it feel even colder. So we have extended the 11 Alive Weather Impact Alert through Tuesday morning, and that's because we're going to see temperatures in the teens and also the single digits. So you got to bundle up. If you bundled up this weekend thinking that you were warm enough, you may not be warm enough in this, because this is going to be even colder than what we had here going on through the weekend. So here's more on that weather impact alert. Really, this is the alert after the storm, because there's no more precipitation coming down in this. It's just the really cold air that we're going to be dealing with overnight temperatures in the single digits and teens. Those single digits would mainly be in far north Georgia. The teens here in metro Atlanta, with about 15 degrees for our low temperature. Also, the wind is going to make it feel even colder. We're talking about wind chills in the single digits, and even some wind chills below zero, especially up in parts of North Georgia where it's a little bit colder there. And remember, any moisture left over will be freezing into some of those icy patches. There are a lot more of those in northeast Georgia than there are here in metro Atlanta, but still, there are a few of those around here in the metro area, so you definitely have to be careful. And then we're going to see more sunshine here during the day on Tuesday, and temperatures above freezing tomorrow for a little bit longer. We're going to get up to the lower 40s here tomorrow, and that will help with more of the melting out there to improve getting rid of some of those icy patches and maybe some of that black ice out there. Look at these temperatures. Now, these are the temperatures along with the wind chills that we're expecting here for the next few mornings. Tomorrow morning, a temperature, not a wind chill, a temperature of 15 degrees. But the wind chill will feel like 7. Then on Wednesday and Thursday, still cold, but not as cold. We'll be at about 25 degrees both of those days. Wind chill on Wednesday will be around 20, and then wind chill on Thursday will be closer to the actual temperature that we're going to be seeing. Now, I want to show you this. This is a comparison of our forecasted ice amounts from over the weekend compared to where most of the ice was. And you'll remember, we were talking about northeast Georgia getting most of the impacts with some of that ice that would be a ½ inch or greater. And then here in the metro area, lesser amounts, maybe 1/4 inch to a ½ inch, and then the really light amounts there on the south side. So now I'm going to overlay where the actual worst of the ice amounts were with some of those measurements. Now remember, you've got the pinkish color here, blue here, and then light blue here. Notice that it shifted a little bit to the north with those ½ inch totals more in far northeast Georgia, like in parts of White County, Stevens County, Rabun County got about 3/4 of an inch of ice. And then around the blue color that did extend into North Fulton, it extended down to close to I-20 here, into northern Cobb and over to Paulding County. That's where we had some of those ice amounts that were between 1/4 of an inch and a ½ inch of ice. And then below that, here in the metro area, lesser amounts, some of them mixed over here between, a 100th of an inch or a 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch there in that area. So really, the northeastern part did get it worse, but it didn't extend as far down as Gwinnett County. And then the blue didn't extend as far down as to Atlanta. So it shifted northward just a little bit where we had those highest amounts of the ice there in the area. So just wanted to kind of compare those for you as we're now a day after that event happened there on Sunday. Satellite and radar imagery right now, very quiet. We don't see any rain around. We don't have any clouds. It is clear, and with that clear sky, that is going to enhance or help the fact that it is getting cold tonight. We don't have any clouds holding in any warmth that we had today, and those temperatures are really going to be falling. And it's really a nice night. We have great visibility. This is our view from our tower cam in Decatur, looking westward toward the city. A lot of times when we look at this camera at this time of night looking toward the city, it still doesn't come in this clear. That's a real clear look there, again, with those clear skies and cold temperatures. Blue Ridge now looking pretty good. It's really cold up in Blue Ridge at this hour. They have clear skies there. And then here's a closer up look at the city of Atlanta. This is really looking more toward Midtown. This is our tower cam there at Georgia Tech, looking north and eastward here. And again, it's just a beautiful night, but it is also a very cold night as well. Now, something interesting, while you look here at the high temperature of the day, it says 38 degrees. But that did not happen this afternoon. That happened overnight. When we had still some clouds lingering and mist and drizzle, our temperatures last night before 11 o'clock were around 36, 37 degrees. We actually moved up to 38 degrees at midnight last night, and it delayed. Those temperatures stayed a little bit warmer, a little bit longer, and we didn't drop to freezing until later in the morning. Our low today so far has been 23 degrees, but as you can see, those temperatures well below where we should be for this time of year. All right, let me show you those temperatures for the past 20 hours, and you can see here what we're talking about. Now, I know this doesn't go back to midnight. It says 37 at 1 a.m., but it was 38 at midnight. And then we had 36 at 2 o'clock, 34 at 3. Then we hit freezing at 4 o'clock in the morning. After that, watch how those temperatures fell. We went from 32 to 28. We dropped 4 degrees there in an hour. We dropped more, and then we dropped more to 25. Then we dropped more to 23 degrees this morning. Very cold air, and then we started coming back up once the sun went up. But this afternoon, we were only there right around 34 degrees. So the high today was actually at midnight last night, and then we were able to get back up to about 34. Now, look at the trend we're on now. Another downhill trend with these temperatures. 30 at 6 o'clock, 28, 26, and now 24 degrees at the 9 o'clock hour. And that downhill trend is going to continue for the overnight hour. So here's a look at these temperatures right now. Now, Atlanta at 24. You know, we've got more mid and even some upper 20s here on the south side, 28 in Thomaston. Even Eatonton coming in at 30 degrees. 25, though, in Covington. We've got 24 here and in Athens. But look up at Gainesville. Again, not a wind chill. This is the actual temperature in Gainesville right now, 19. 17 in Canton, 13 in Blairsville, 17 right now in Clayton. And if you want to see what the wind makes that feel like, it feels like 2 right now in Blairsville. It feels like 7 in Clayton. Feels like 4 in Canton, single digits in Marietta right now with the wind chill at 8. Feels like 12 in Atlanta, and then those wind chills in the teens here. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of wind chills in the morning that are going to be in the single digits, and maybe even some below 0 wind chills up in parts of North Georgia. Now, we still have a wind. It's not a crazy wind, though. We've got about 14-mile-an-hour winds, and that makes that colder air feel colder. 15-mile-an-hour winds in Marietta, but yet up in Blairsville and Clayton, it's about 8 and 9-mile-an-hour winds. Now, factor in the gusts, though, and that wind is even stronger. We have 22-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Atlanta right now, 23-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Marietta and Duluth. Look at Covington with 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts. You see these arrows coming out of the north and west, and that is just bringing in, ushering in more of that Arctic air coming from way up into Canada and even beyond there with that strong northwesterly flow. Now, we're still going to have some wind in the morning, but it's not going to be as gusty. Now remember, these are not sustained winds, these are gusts. It's going to be about 12-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Atlanta, 14 in Duluth, 18 in Gainesville. Throughout the day, you know, let's say between 15 and 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts during the day, and then it starts settling down again once in the nighttime hours there, Tuesday night and also into Wednesday. So wake up tomorrow morning at 15 degrees. So that is the white number here, the actual temperature. The blue temperature is the wind chill. It's going to feel like it is 6 degrees in Atlanta. Then we go up to 19 at 9, warming all the way up to 19 at 9 o'clock with a wind chill that feels like 10. And then we get up to 42 in the afternoon. So those temperatures are going to be rising a little bit more. And that sunshine is really going to help that get up into those lower 40s with the wind chill still, though, making it feel like it's in the 30s. But we will see a good bit of sunshine. It's going to be one of those crystal clear days. So here's the forecast track. These temperatures you're about to see on this forecast track are from the graph model. They're a little bit different than what I was telling you, and I'll explain why they're a little bit different. So you can see here overnight, we're going to watch those temperatures falling, going down. This is saying 17. We're going with 15 for a low in the morning. But you see really cold everywhere. And there's 12 in Blairsville, 14 in Dalton. Getting up to around freezing at noon. And then in the afternoon, this was going 37. I really think with the sunshine tomorrow, a lot of times the models, especially here for Atlanta, don't take into account the impacts of a bright sunny day with very dry air and a northwest flow coming in, or a westerly and northwesterly flow. So I do think that we'll get up to around 41, 42 degrees here for tomorrow afternoon, a little bit more than what this model is saying here. But then we get down into the 20s again on Wednesday. I do think we'll see a few more clouds around on Wednesday, and high temperatures in the afternoon will bump back up into the 40s once again, right around 43, maybe 45 degrees here on Wednesday. So even though that sounds warmer than what we've been dealing with, which it is, these temperatures are still well below where we should be for this time of year. We should be in the 50s. So this is the Arctic air diving down into our area. It does start to retreat a little bit tomorrow. Now the mornings are going to be cold. Tomorrow morning, as we mentioned, 15, but then the mornings after that will be in the 20s, afternoon highs in the 40s. So we'll see some, even though it's below freezing in the mornings, we'll see some temperatures above freezing in the afternoons. And then you can see Friday afternoon, another Arctic blast comes down here. That's going to be settling in on us going into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday both are going to be really cold. We're talking about lows again in the 20s, highs only in the 30s on Saturday. Pretty much the same thing on Sunday. The thing we have to watch with this is we're seeing an area of low pressure developing and moving up the northeast coast, most likely becoming a nor'easter. As of right now, that low looks like it's going to stay to the south and to the east of us, moving up this way instead of coming this way. So depending on the track of that low and how close it gets to us will determine if we get any moisture wrapping around on the back side of it. We could have some snow flurries in parts of East Georgia. Some of those flurries may move into Georgia. Right now, this is a really low chance at only 20% for us. But we're telling you about it, not to hype anything up. I'm not hyping anything up. I'm just telling you what we're seeing right now. And I'm not even thinking we'll see much. But we just have to watch that low to see where that track goes. If it tracks closer to us, then we could see a little better chance for some flurries to move into our area. So meantime, let's just focus on that cold air that we have in place. 15 in the morning. Then lows in the mid-20s Wednesday and Thursday, 27 Friday, then back down to 22 on Saturday. And average low for this time of year is 36. So these are still going to be well below average. And the high temperatures, average high for this time of year is 54. We're going to be 42 Tuesday, 44 Wednesday and Thursday. That's 10 degrees below average. 42 Friday, and then back to a high temperature on Saturday, only around 32 degrees. So another really cold weekend is going to be coming our way. So here is that 7-day outlook where you can see there the remainder or the extension of that 11 Alive weather impact alert for tomorrow morning as those temperatures dip down to 15, again with those wind chills that are going to make it feel even colder. At least it's going to be dry though with a lot of sunshine. Highs near 42. Then 25 for a low Wednesday. A few more clouds mixing in. Temperatures around 44. 25 again Thursday. Still highs around 44 with partly cloudy skies. And then the cold air coming in for the weekend, both Saturday and on Sunday. Look at that, high lows on Sunday at 19. We're back to the teens, but then highs back up to 35. And then 44 on Monday, still with mainly dry conditions. Now again, we'll be watching this weekend. Right now, we just have a 20% chance for a little moisture coming in, moving into that cold air, but it's all going to depend on that track of low pressure. You'll probably see a lot of folks pulling up the worst case scenario from a model, and they're posting it on social media, but just know we look at all the models, we look for trends, and then we let you know what we think is going to happen. But right now, we're not overly concerned about the weekend, just mainly plan for cold air. But if anything changes, we'll let you know as we get through the next couple of days. So thanks for watching this extended weather update here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. We'll have another update for you tonight at 11 on 11 Alive Plus with our newscast, 11 Alive News, and then, of course, updates throughout the day tomorrow. Thanks for watching this extended weather update on 11 Alive Plus.